Devon and I'm the costume supervisor. My responsibility to try to make sure that we're on track in terms of what our established budget is. That's usually given, well, that's our established budget. And then I'm also responsible for like hiring crew and making sure that we have enough people to do whatever it is we need to have done within the department. Definitely my laptop. Love Mac. Sorry. It just makes my life just so much easier. There's a program we use in our business called C-Plot Pro, which is a budgeting and breakdown program, which is done by a fellow customer named Betty Picio. And she's made my life so much easier by the invention of her program in terms of doing a breakdown, plugging it in, just having everything print out from the character changes to the budget, like and how much we spent in terms of tracking. I mean, it all is just sort of a one-step process. Considering I'm from Detroit, it's actually fabulous to be back home and actually able to work here, since I haven't actually, the last time I was actually able to work here was on the movie 8 Mile. In terms of the advantages are there because the Michigan economy is so bad, for one. We're allowing a lot of people to have jobs here. And not only is it affecting the people who like immediately work on the crew, but it also affects stores, restaurants, hotels, rental car places, airlines, because when a film comes to Detroit, it brings in a lot of revenue that affects a whole lot of people across the board. Because we're a union show, we have to go through the local, which is Local 38. Local 38 has a roster of people that are available. There are times when you may be able to work around that, but everybody has to be available. I mean, it has to be working in order for you to get around that. And I mean, it's just a matter of relationships. I mean, I'm from here, so I know people who already do this business, and so it made my life a little bit easier. Well, for one, it's a period movie that had a smaller budget. And a lot of people, what makes it different in terms of being a period movie with a smaller budget is usually on films when they're contemporary. You're allowed, like, it makes it easier when background or can wear their own clothes in to work in the scenes. Well, for this movie, we have to outfit almost everybody that's working in the movie because of the period. It's 1968. Most people don't have clothing in their wardrobe from 1968, and if we want to keep it, you know, to the period, we have to do that. Well, it really depends on what first start you're talking about. If you're talking about my first start as a costume designer, that would be a gentleman named Eric Brazil. If you were talking about my first start as a costume supervisor, that would be a costume designer named Salvador Perez. If you're talking about my first shot as a set costumer, that would be a woman by the name of Gail DeCrassel. I came up through the ranks basically doing non-union work for $50 a day. Didn't matter how long the hours, but $50 a day as a set costumer. And that's pretty much how I learned the business from the bottom up.